And right now, a House Oversight Committee is questioning Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. It's part of the committee's investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. And that's because some of the more than 3 million pages of the Epstein files reveal that Epstein and Lutnick were in business together as recently as 2014. Now, members of the committee spoke with reporters just before the hearing about what they hope to accomplish today. Take a listen.
We haven't talked to too many people that have admitted they've been on the island, so it's my understanding he wasn't on the island very long. He was there with his wife and kids, but we'll see what he says.
I want clear answers on exactly what his relationship was with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I want to know the exact timeline, and I want to know why he lied, because he's not been consistent with his story.
Let's bring in CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small. Hey, Taurean, what can you tell us about today's hearing and the relationship between Lutnick and Epstein?
Yeah, Mugo, similar to previous backdoor testimony from people of interest, according to this panel. We're going to hear from Lutnick potentially later through the release of the transcript of this closed-door interview, but as of now, this is a private testimony between him and members of the House Oversight Committee. I think what's curious about this is, and what piqued the interest of quite a few lawmakers, was the fact that Lutnick really tried to get ahead of this controversy, saying that he hadn't spoken with Epstein since 2005. It was later revealed the release of both the Epstein files and documents through the Epstein estate that he had at least made contact as recently as 2012 when Lutnick and his family visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island. This was something that obviously Lutnick walked back. I think what we've heard from lawmakers so far is the curiosities around the discrepancies and how he looked to draw the relationship between the two. But we know that they were close for some time, as they were both neighbors in New York when they both had homes there in Manhattan. And there has also been business connections or ties between the two. Both had dealings in the financial industry, Jeffrey Epstein obviously being quite the big financier in New York. So we'll see what comes out of this, but there is bipartisan appetite for more information. And as we heard from the Democratic congressman there's still quite a few files that haven't been released by the Trump administration that they're looking to get to the bottom to as well.
And Taurean, is it unusual for such a high-ranking administration official to appear before a panel like this?
I mean, this is quite the unusual investigation. Just to lay out the list of names, I think some high-profile list of names that have already spoken to this panel. It's been Hillary and Bill Clinton, not just a former president being deposed before this panel, but also his wife, former Secretary of State and Democratic presidential nominee. We also know that they're looking to get Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General under the Trump administration, to testify. She had previously refused to show up during an April deposition after she had stepped down from her position. The Trump administration really making the case that she no longer needed to, as she no longer served as the Attorney General, the top cop for the Justice Department. But the panel saying, no, our subpoena that we're asking for her testimony is to her, not necessarily the title. That is being rescheduled to the end of this month, so she's likely to show up then to give her take on the Trump administration's handling of the release of the Epstein files. But this long list of high-profile figures testifying really emphasizes the weight of this investigation, the bipartisan appetite to get to the bottom, and it has been so far unsatisfying for folks on both sides of the aisle, Mugo.
Yeah, Taurean Small on Capitol Hill for us. Thank you so much for your reporting.